to introduce to L Shell. My name is Dr. Nanette K. Hartley, and I will be your instructor for this course. You can please call me Nan, Dr. Nan, Professor. Really doesn't matter to me what you call me. I'm not overly concerned about it. I am your instructor for this course. I will be grading all of your stuff, and I will be the one who does all of your lecture materials. So I will grade your lectures and your labs. I will not necessarily be the one who teaches the labs that you're in. And we'll talk a little bit about that in a few minutes. This is what we're calling an open lab section. So you will have a fixed lecture time where you meet with me. That's Tuesday and Thursday from 2:50 to 5:50. I'll be holding my office hours in the same room, which is 800-816, from 1 p.m. to 2:50, so roughly 2 hours before each lecture, in that same room. I also have office hours Friday morning from 7 to 10 a.m. and then a remote office hour on Wednesday nights from 6 to 8 p.m. I think that's when all my office hours are. But you can check that by going to content. One of my course documents says my availability, and this will show you when my office hours are. So like I said, excuse me, I apologize. I swear to God, every time I get on camera, I start yawning. So 1 to 2:50 in 800-816 on Tuesday and Thursday. 6 to 8 p.m. Wednesday night is remote, and then 7 to 10 a.m. on Friday. Now Monday I am remote. Actually 7 to 10 and 1 to 6. All my hours on Monday are remote. I am in the lab on Wednesday from 7 to I'm in the lab from 8 to 11 and 11:30 to 2:30. Those are my two lab times. So those are the times I'm in that laboratory. I'm on campus from 7 to 3. I'm on campus from 9 to 6 on Tuesday and Thursday, but I'm in 800-816 from 1 to 6 p.m. So that's when I will be in those rooms. And I will be in my office, which is 970 302L for my office hours on Friday, which are 7 to 10. So I do leave campus on Friday at 10 a.m. We are on a compressed schedule, so we close at noon on Friday, so I'm not on campus after that. I am available other times, weird times. That is definitely the case. So if you need to get a hold of me, that's fine. Now that we've transitioned D2L email over to Outlook, I'm pretty available via email. I don't guarantee that I will be checking my email over the weekend, so don't count on it. But I'm usually pretty available. Oh, I'm sorry, excuse me, but my email address is here. You can email me at that email. This is my office phone number, and this is my WebEx link, so you can find me there if we need to meet remotely via WebEx. That's perfectly acceptable. So you can make an appointment with me for office hours through Navigate. That is perfectly fine. So there is that. Now I do want to walk through a little bit of what is in the D2L shell. You will see under course documents, and I'm viewing this as a student, so you can see what I can see, what you can see as a student. So you'll see course documents, you'll see opt-in for Alex access, and there's a bunch of stuff in here, we'll walk through that. And then you'll see the lab signups. Right now, all you'll see here is the safety video, because that's the first thing that you can view. Now you'll see all of these course documents, and there's a bunch of stuff in here. So there's the course syllabus, you'll see the syllabus addendum, you'll see the schedule for the course, you'll see the Spring 1 due date calendar, which has all of the due dates for when things are due. There is the lab schedule. This is when we'll be doing all of the experiments. The stuff in red are paper labs, and then down here at the end there are 2 virtual labs. They'll be done through Alex. Okay. This is PDF instructions for how to turn things in, because I will not accept anything that is not a PDF. Okay, if you turn anything that's in that is not a PDF, I will not grade it. This is the safety video script. So there's a safety video that you have to watch, and this is the information that's in it. There's some images that go with this that show you the safety features in the laboratory that you will be having a lab in. So you have that. This is my availability. Again, this is when I'm on campus and where. These are my course policies. These are the exam handouts that you will be given on the exams so that you can print these out and have them beforehand so that you can start working with them on your homeworks. And Alex, these have Alex molecular weights and the weights from the periodic table that I give you, which is the one that's right here. So just in case you can't read those, because I'm starting not to be able to see that. Yes, it looks awesome. So, what else? Other things that you'll be working with this term. So conversion factors. The Lewis dot structures, things like that. Some useful equations, things that we'll get to, Avogadro's numbers on here, although it's not labeled. Some other things, gas constants on here. Not all of these are for 110. Some of these are for 111. These are the list of strong acids and strong bases. This is the fun box. We have the solubility rules that we will need eventually, and the solubility chart. These are common names and formulas that you may need. This is our brain is failing. Sorry, I'm getting old. So how we do our conversions. So how we go from grams to moles to grams and things like that. So stoichiometry table, and you will be able to use this when you're working with that. We have specific heat capacities for doing some of the calculations that we end up doing later. These are solubility product constants, which you really don't need in 110. These are bond energies, which are used for 111. We'll have freezing point depression and boiling point elevation constants, which we will use for the one of the last things that we do, properties of salts. This one we'll need as well. Ionization constants, and for their conjugate acids, Ks and Kbs. Ionization constants again for weak acids and weak bases, diprotic acids, and then standard reduction potentials. Now, again, a lot of this stuff you don't necessarily need, but some of these things you will. So we'll talk about those when we get to them and I will point them out. But it's a good idea to work with this when you're working on your homework so that you get used to where that material is so you'll know where to find it when you're using it on a test. I will give you copies of these. They will be laminated so that way if you write on them, I can get everything off of that. But those are your exam handouts. This is the lab manual. You will get a copy of this lab manual to take with you to lab. There is a place for you to write your name and your student ID. You will need your student ID to be able to sign into the labs. So I recommend that you get a copy of your student ID from the hub so that you can do that. Okay. This will give you an idea of where all of the data is that you're going to have to record so that you know what pages those are on and the post labs that you will need to do as well. All of that will need to be turned in to the assignments. So I'll show you that actually in just a minute. These are the technology requirements. So what you are expected to be able to work with. These are your course prerequisites, your minimum computer requirements, things that you have to be able to work with. So the university minimum computer requirements, the ALEX computer requirements, webcam and microphone for online class sections, and anything you do in Respondus, any of the quizzes you take in this class, Microsoft Office 365, WebEx, D2L, Respondus Lockdown Browser, which you need to be able to use, okay, and Alex, okay. So Alex is something that you will have to be using, which has your online textbook, your homework, and your virtual labs. You need to be able to work with D2L. You need to be able to upload documents to D2L. You need to be able to upload documents to your email. Okay, you need to be able to work with Microsoft Excel to enter data and generate graphs. You need to be able to work with Microsoft Word. You need to be able to PDF things. You need to be able to run and use WebEx. You need to be able to properly cite references in MLA format. And you need to be able to use PowerPoint or equivalent to prepare presentations and save PDF, or use WebEx or equivalent to record PowerPoint presentations in MP4 format. You need to have a calculator that is capable of doing base 10 logs and anti-logs 10 to the x power. Okay, so TI32XS will do this. Any calculator that's approved for use on the SAT or ACT will be able to do that. Cell phones or other devices that can connect to the internet are not acceptable. You will not be able to use them on the test. Okay, don't test me on this. I have several calculators that I can lend to you. I will give you one of those calculators. If you haven't worked with one before, sorry. But I will not allow you to use a cell phone or anything else. Okay. There are several student resources that are here that you can work with. Orientation for online learning, technical support for TTC and D2L, D2L technical support, resources for things that are on campus. So, stuff that is available to you, accessibility services, college skills, academic skills development, college services and resources, academic assistance for classes, student privacy policy for distance learning, tutor.com, which is helpful for getting tutors for your classes and is free, ChatGPT. Okay, you can get help from ChatGPT in learning this subject, and I can walk you through how to do some of that. Don't be afraid to ask me for help outside of class. I am more than willing to help you. Okay, due dates, unclear on what you're supposed to be doing, any of that, I'm more than happy to help. Okay, all of these things will get you to me. And if something weird in life comes up and you're not sure what to do, if you're having problems, let me know. There are things that we can do, and it may be that there are resources that we can call on to help you with that stuff. Okay, sometimes life gets in the way, and it is our goal to make sure that you get from where you are to where you want to be, i.e., across that graduation stage. So we'll do whatever we can to try and get you there. Okay. There's some other things that are in here. Scientific method, discussions on the scientific method. You are expected to use the scientific method, so there's a description of that. There's some tips for test taking if you've never been through that kind of thing. I used to teach test taking, so I know a little bit about it. There's some stuff about problem solving, how I do it, how it works, okay? So this is important. And then my bio, so some stuff about me. This is the opt-in for Alex. Now, Alex is how we do all of our homework. It's also where your online textbook can be found. Okay, so in order to get to it, you're going to have to come in and opt in using the Red Shelf digital learning materials. So you're going to have to open this link, and it's going to take you into this wonderful Red Shelf. Okay, you're going to see that there's the Alex 360 online access for chemistry. You'll click that, and you'll see that there's a code here. You'll copy that code to your clipboard, and then you can close this. And then you'll come into this Alex link, and you'll open this. Now, once you open that, you'll see a thing that says you have to opt in. Now, I don't see that because I've already done it. Okay, and I'm not allowed to do it from here because I have a different role. So I don't see that, but you'll say opt in, and there's a little video about it if you want to see it. Thought I had a video about it. Okay, sorry. Apparently I don't. Oh, yeah, here it is. So this will show you how to do that if you need that information. So it'll show you how to opt in, put that code in, and then you'll be able to get into Alex. Now, you need to make sure that you've done that through this. If you don't do it through D2L, then your grades will never come over, and that's a problem. Okay, so you need to make sure that you've done that opt-in. You need to have done that within the first week of class. If you haven't done it, then you will be listed as not having ever attended class. You'll be listed as NA. Okay, so you need to do that. Now, that's that part. Now, once you've reviewed all of these lovely documents, and there's a bunch of them, okay, you're going to need to do some other things. You notice there's not a lot here. So you need to come into the quizzes. And you'll see that there's a lockdown browser and respondents monitor test, and you'll need to take that. So you need to come in here and say, okay, download and install the latest lockdown browser, open it, you'll say, yes, I want to install that. And it'll say, okay, fine, we're installing this. And of course, it's not going to let me do it right now because I'm in this thing. So I say, okay, I can't do that. But if it lets me do it, then I'll be able to do that. Okay, so then I will be able to take that. Okay. Then I can come in and do this acknowledgement activity. I say, okay, I want to do this. And I say, all right, I've read this, I've read this, I've read this, I've read this, I've read this. I found the lab manual. I understand that Alex is a requirement. I acknowledge that I have a calculator. I acknowledge that it must notify me during 24 hours of a missed assignment to request additional time on it. Failure to do so in the period of time means I get no opportunity to get those points back. Acknowledge that I'm aware for each hour I spend in class, approximately 1 hour of study time outside of class is required. Also acknowledge that it is expected for this course a student would be in class 12 hours a week due to the lecture and lab components. So the total time per week expected is 24 hours. Some students may require all that time. Some may require more than that. And then I can submit this. Hooray! And once I've done that, then I can come out. And if I go back here, look, there's a whole bunch more stuff. And that's the rest of the material that I need for this course. Now, there are other things that you still need to do. So you are still expected to do a few more things. Now, once you've done that, there should be another, where is it? So there should be another, oh, that's right, it hasn't shown up yet. So on the first day of class, there will be another announcement that says start here. And there's a whole bunch of stuff that's listed in that start here. And there'll be a checklist that comes up in that start here. Oh, and look, I got an award because I did stuff. So this is the checklist. I can see that, you know, I can go and do the bio and that's my instructor information and I can see all the information about who I am. There's an introductory video. Oh, look, you're watching it. So hooray, I watched it. There'll be a link here. The departmental syllabus, the syllabus addendum, schedule, the lab manual, the course policies, technology requirements with resources, the exam handouts. I'll create my Alex link, which I've already done. The textbook, this is how I get to it. So this is how you get to that. You come down here and click that. The assignments, so you come to the assignments bit, tour of the site. So there's the exams, 7 parts, 1 for the course documents, the opt-in for Alex, the labs, and 1 for preparation for the final exam. Within each exam section, you'll find the topics covered for the exam. In each topic, there's a supporting document for that topic, both in-class and out-of-class homework. I'll show you the structure of what is present in the topic for each exam. You have pre-lab quizzes. You must score greater than 60% on the pre-labs to be able to sign up for the labs. If you do not, please see me as soon as possible. Once the quiz has been passed, you'll see a new section under lab signups appear that has a link you need to click to sign up for the labs. You ask to put for your contact information, as well as the date and time that you want to do the lab. And that's because we can't have more than 16 people in a given lab. So just in case we have more than 16 people show up or sign up, I need to be able to contact you in case that happens. Okay, there is a lab associated. It's 25% of your grade. Per departmental policy, if you do not do all of the labs, you will automatically fail this course. So it is important that you attend and do the labs. There's a post lab for each of these assignments. Okay, so there's paperwork in your lab manual for that. You'll have to turn that in as well. Your labs and your post labs need to be put into PDF format to be turned in. And then there are your first homework assignments: that lockdown browser test, the acknowledgement activity, the scavenger hunt, and then sign up for Alex using the red shelf. Okay, I need to fix that. Okay, so lockdown browser test, acknowledgement activity, scavenger hunt, and the Alex link, and you can save that. So those are the things you need to do. Cool, awesome. So there you go. And you can cancel it. Now, there is going to be another list that you can look at. Okay. And that's your success checklist. And so you can walk through all of that too. And I'll talk to you about things that you need to look at, how much time you're going to spend, some things that I recommend. I'll let you read through all of that yourself, and some things that you should go and look at. Okay. So there are a couple of checklists for you. Again, all of the materials that are here. Hey, look, I set up an Alex account. Go awesome. I try to give you a little motivation. Okay. Now, once class starts, this should be gone. Okay. So once we've done all of this, this should be gone. So you guys should be good to do that. Now, a couple of other things that you're going to need. Oh, the assignments. So once you have completed your labs, you're going to come in here and turn them in. So you'll have a PDF of your lab work that you're doing. So when you're in content or here in the assignments, what you can do is click into this assignment and you'll see that there are the data tables. Okay, so these are the data tables that are out of your lab manual. You are responsible for taking your lab manual with you to lab, and then you are responsible for filling in these data tables in ink. Let me repeat that. In ink. You cannot write in pencil. You cannot write on scratch paper and then put this into the lab manual later. Okay? This has to be done in ink in the lab when you're in there. Okay? This is a legal document that you must record while you're in the lab. Okay? If you make a mistake while you're doing this, okay? So I can take my little pen and I'm going to do edit. Take my little pen. Go. I don't want that. Well, that's being difficult. Apparently, I was signed out. Sorry. Whatever can go wrong will go wrong, right? Anyway, sorry. So if I were writing on this and I make a mistake, I just put a single line through it, single line, and then initial and date it. That's how I mark that I've made a mistake. And I do that because I need to make sure that I can still read what I wrote. Because how many times have you put a, X'd out whatever you wrote, and what you did was cross out a number you actually needed? It happens all the time. Okay. So once you've taken all that data, and you then at the end, when you're leaving the lab, you have to have the person who's running the lab initial and date that. Then you sign out of the lab, and then you'll take pictures or PDF that and then submit it here. So you'll add a file and submit it here. Okay. Then you can submit it. You'll get a grade for that assignment. Now, in addition to getting a grade for the assignment, for the lab itself, you'll get a grade for your post lab. And we ask that you are turning those two things in separately. Okay. So those are two things that you'll be able to turn in separately. Okay. And you'll get two different scores for that. Now, your lab itself is 10% of your grade. Your post lab is 5% of your grade. And your quizzes, the pre-labs, are 5% of your grade as well. Okay? Now, what happens when you do that pre-lab, you will get these lab signups that will show up. So once you've watched the safety video, I think this will take you to the safety video, then you can come and take the safety quiz. It's all the way down here at the bottom. You'll have to take the safety quiz. I'll move this up to the top. Once you've completed this with an 85% or higher, then when you come out to content, you'll see a new lab sign up that says Lab 1. And you'll be able to go to the form that will allow you to sign up for Lab 1. And then you can go to Lab 1 and then complete that lab. And then you can turn it in, and then you'll be able to get to the quiz for the next experiment. Okay. And you can get to the quizzes, the pre-lab quizzes for a lot of these already, right? They're all open as of the first day of class. All right, so you can go ahead and do them all on the first day of class if you choose to do, and then you can sign up for whatever labs you want. Okay, And again, as long as they don't overlap with when your lecture is, and there aren't too many people signed up at that time, then you're perfectly fine. So those are your assignments. Now, as far as discussions go, there is an introductory discussion that you're required to do. Okay. Right now, that's the only one that you're going to be able to see is this introductory discussion. Now, once you've turned in your labs, okay, there's going to be a discussion for each lab that you turn in. So every lab that you actually physically perform, there'll be a discussion on that. And then the ones that you do on paper, there'll be a discussion on those. Okay. We're going to be looking for some feedback about that. So how well did you feel prepared for that on a scale of 1 to 5? Now, did you think there was anything we could change, that we should improve, that, this is a new experiment for us. And so we want to see, things like, did you feel like you had enough time, that kind of stuff. There are going to be some places for open questions so that you can give us some feedback. We would love to hear whatever you have to say, good, bad, or otherwise. Really have no opinion about that. Okay. And if you want it to be anonymous feedback, then feel free to drop us a note in the lab. Just write something out and drop it in there. That's fine. Again, I don't really care. Okay. I honestly don't. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Okay. We need to know how you feel about it. And obviously, we're going to be collecting data in a number of different ways to see how well you guys are doing. So we're curious about how this is going. So there will be some discussions about that. You'll have the quizzes, you'll have some exams, you'll have the final. I think that's everything. Now, as far as the discussions go, the post labs, they may appear here in the discussions. They may be surveys. We'll figure that out and we'll let you know. I'm not 100% sure where they're going to end up at this point. Okay. So we will keep you posted on that. And I think that's everything I wanted to show you from there. Now, the other thing that I wanted to show you is going to be Alex. Now, it's going to take me a minute to be able to show you that because I'm going to have to go through a little bit of rigmarole to get to the view that I want. So bear with me for just a second. Sorry, I can't do this way. So I have to come out of my student view from here to open Alex. And then I need to come in here and do a student view in Alex so that you can see what this looks like. Now, when you first come into Alex, you're going to see something that looks like this. And you can skip the tooltips because that tells you how to do this. You'll see that there's a knowledge check. And I'll show you the tooltips again. Now, this knowledge check that you're going to get is all about math. Okay. So you can, I can skip the knowledge check. You can't. It takes about an hour. That's how long it's designed to take. If you have any weaknesses or things that you don't know how to do with the math, it's going to show you that, and it's going to give you some opportunities to pick that up, to do a little bit better with that math. Now, I can skip it because I'm allowed to do that. You don't want to worry about this path part. That is not what we're worried about. What you're worried about is coming up here to do the assignments. Now I'm going to show you the textbook. That was right here. So you can do this, click with the textbook and see the ebook. And this will open the textbook that is assigned. Now, this is the textbook that we're working with. If you come over here to the home page and go to content, course documents, and look at the schedule, you will see that there are some chapters and sections listed here. So if it says chapter 2, sections 1 through 3, then what we're talking about with that is coming in here, chapter 2, sections 1, 2, and 3. So if you wanted to look at any of those, we could go to 2, 3, and see what was in this. Look through all the things that are in section 2, 3. Okay, so we can talk about all of those sections that we have and look at what those look like. Okay, so that was the only part of 2, 3 there was. But that's what we're talking about, is those sections that match with what we've got in here. Okay, so that's how you can find that stuff. Okay, so that's the textbook portion of this. Now, the other part that we wanted to look at was not this textbook. We wanted also to look at the assignments. And when you come into the assignments, what you're going to see is there was that review module, which you've already completed. So you have all of these lovely homeworks that are due. The first exam stuff is due on February 2nd. Second exam homework is due on February 18th. And the exam 3 homework is due on the 22nd of February. So the majority of this is due 2 days before each exam. Okay, that's to force you to study. Okay, that's the way it's designed. So that's what you get. Now, notice when you come into one of these, which you can't do right now because it hasn't actually opened, there is going to be a last due date. Okay, and what you'll see if you look at the schedule is that it says this is due recommended on the 16th, and the actual due date is on the 2nd of February, and then everything has a final due date for the class. Okay, so everything will be due, the final due date for the class. I don't remember exactly what the final due date is, but it's right before the end of the term. Okay, so you can turn in stuff late up until then. Okay, but it is late. Okay, so the policy with late labs is that you have a rolling thing for how that works. So if your lab is due on the 21st of February, which is what this date is right here, and you turn it in, so it's supposed to be due on the 21st of February, right, which is right here, and you turn it in on this Tuesday. So if you turn it in on the Monday, that's one business day that it's late. So you lose 20% of the lab on that date. If you turn in on Tuesday, that's second business day that's late, you've lost 40%. Wednesday is 60%. Thursday is 80%. And if you turn it in on Friday, you get nothing. Okay. So if you turn it in the following week, you get nothing. And I will not accept it after that. So that drop box is going to close. What you'll see is that these assignments, if it's due on the 24th, it ends on the 31st. Okay, that's it. So, and that is really for you, because what happens is if you turn something in that much later than everybody else, there's gonna be a consequence to that, because I will have graded all of those other things, and everyone else will have moved on, and I will be looking at your papers later on. I will have expected everybody else to be moving on with everything else, and I will be looking at your papers with different expectations based on where everyone else is. So it's not really fair for me to have those expectations for you. Okay? So that's why that works the way that it does. Okay? So that should be everything you need to know about D2L and Alex. All right? So I hope that's everything that you need. If you have any questions, comments, problems about anything, please let me know. Like I said, I am pretty casual about stuff. I am not overly concerned about questions, comments, problems. If you have questions in class, just stop me. Let me know. I have no issue with that. So I look forward to actually meeting you on Tuesday. And if you have any questions between now and then, let me know. And I look forward to seeing you soon. Have a good couple days, and I will see you on Tuesday if I don't see you before. Thanks. Have a good one.